Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Kiwi, and today I am trying something different. I have never done a video like this before, but I figured I would give it a shot. I'll have to admit that I am a hopeless romantic at heart. I do love a good love story. The Notebook is my favorite movie of all time. Don't get me wrong, I love comedies. There's quite a few comedies that I like as well that are my favorites, but The Notebook takes the cake. And this story that I'm going to tell you guys today, it reminds me a lot of The Notebook. It's very epic. I just felt like this is a really heartwarming story. I just think it's so cute and so epic, like I said, and it just makes you kind of just want to say, oh, the beginning to the end of this couple's story is just epic. I keep saying that word, but it's like the only word that describes it, honestly. Anyways, if you would like to stick around just for a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of a heartwarming story about this couple that was married for 75 years. It's basically the modern day Notebook. If you want to listen to that heartwarming love story that I have here for you today, then just keep watching. You may have already heard of this love story that I'm going to be talking about today. It did go viral back in 2013. A lot of different news articles covered their story and everything like that, and it did go viral on social media as well. But their names are Les and Helen Brown. They were both born on December 31st, which is New Year's. Woo! Party! They were both born on December 31st in 1918. They met at Huntington Park High School, the high school that they both attended, and they instantly fell in love. High school sweethearts, you guys know how that goes. You're just, oh, so lovey-dovey, and in most cases, it usually doesn't work out, right? Well, for Les and Helen, it did. Les's father was a businessman and a successful property owner in Southern California, and Helen's family worked on the railroad. So if you can think about life back in 1918, their family wasn't very thrilled with them getting together. And the reason for that is because Les was said to be from a more wealthy background, and Helen's family was considered working class. So I do still think that some stereotypes like that kind of happen in modern day now, but it was a lot more relevant back in the day. But you know what they did? They said, and they went and got married as soon as they turned 18 in 1937. As I was doing research, there was quite a time gap where there wasn't really much information about them and their family. It's just probably just normal day life for them. So they got married in 1937, and then the next time jump is 1963 when they moved to Long Beach, California. And during their life, Les pursued a career as a Navy photographer, and Helen became an experienced real estate agent, successfully buying and selling all kinds of different properties. So it sounds like they were pretty well off with each other and their career, so they decided to choose. During their lifetime, they had two sons. One is named Les Brown Jr. and the other one is named Daniel Brown. So their life together, it's been said that they spent every day together. There wasn't a day that they weren't by each other's side. So some of the things that they like to do together was they like to worship at their Kingdom Hall, which if you didn't know, that is a Jehovah's Witness church, basically. And it has been reported that that faith together definitely strengthened their marriage. One of their other favorite things to do was take road trips together up the coast of California, specifically to San Francisco and Monterey. And honestly, just picturing that back in like the 1940s, 1950s, I can just see them like in like an old school car with Helen with like her sunglasses on or something like that, and Les maybe has like some really put together hair with some, I don't know, button-up shirt, and they're just like cruising down, you know, the California coast in like a convertible. I don't know what, like, I don't know why, but that's like what I envision when I envision them going down the coast. And like I said earlier, Les Jr. has reportedly said, or repeatedly reported, that they really enjoyed each other's company. They were inseparable and they were never apart. Helen was very, very sweet, but she was also known to be kind of like maybe a little bossy, it kind of seems like. It was reported that she liked, you know, things to be a certain way and done a certain way, but she also catered to everyone's needs. Like, so she was very loving, but she was also like, eh. And she was also said to have the more stricter parent, She was also said to have the more stricter parent role between the two. Now, Les was said to be easygoing, a man of simple pleasures, and it was reported that he just loved coffee and donuts. So he just seems like he's just like a free soul. He's just like, yo, everything's fine. I'm just gonna like not freak out. I'm just not gonna get stressed. I'm just gonna like chill. It's also been said that they were the perfect duo, and what one lacked, the other one made up for, which just made them a perfect match for each other. They were very forgiving of each other's weaknesses and kind of just teeter-tottered, you know, when they needed to. Teeter-tottered? Teeter-tottered. Sometimes I choose words and I'm just like, what is going on up there? I don't know. And here's just a little sneak peek of how ooey and gooey they were over each other, which I think is adorable. A grocery store owner, his name was Zach Henderson, and he reported that one day Helen had her face on Les's cheek like this. So he's like standing next to her and she goes, and their cheeks were touching each other, and she said, "Isn't this just the most handsome man you've ever seen?" How cute is that? And that was when they were in their like 80s or 90s, I believe. Just madly in love with each other all the way through their marriage. I think that is amazing and epic. During their last years, they spent their lives in the Belmont Heights district of Long Beach, which is like just right on the coast. So it sounds like they just lived in California their whole entire lives, which, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that either. Even in their 90s, they insisted on being active in the communities, and they also insisted on having like a local band set up in their driveway for their residential block party. Like, how cute? Can you imagine that? So even in their 90s, they just wanted to like get down and jiggy and like probably listen to old school music, you know, and be all nostalgic with each other. And just involve everybody. And I'm sure everybody at the block party was like, oh. The last anniversary that they spent together was in September of 2012, and it was their 75th anniversary, and they just celebrated it quietly over cake, is how it was reported. I just love them. Their story is so cute. Everything about their story is so cute. So we kind of did a brief overview of their whole entire life together, but now it's kind of getting to the point where it does get a little bit sad, a lot of it sad, but it's also kind of the most epic part of the story as well. I'm gonna keep saying epic. Sorry, not sorry. So the timing of their illness onset was not reported, or at least I couldn't locate it, and I looked at several different resources. I could just not find exactly when they got sick, but I'm assuming they are probably sick for at least a year or so. I don't know for sure, but that's just what I'm gonna guess. Les had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and he had had it for some time. And Helen was also battling stomach cancer at the exact same time. So mind you, they're in their 90s, okay? They are in their 90s. They have lived a full-length life, and unfortunately, that's just kind of what happens. Something gives, and you come down with an illness, and they both came down with an illness at the same time. Unfortunately, Les slipped into a coma in 2013 in their home in Long Beach, California. And at that time, hospice workers estimated that he only had maybe a week or so left. He only had a few days, not very much. And Helen, who was expected to live for some more months in the future, suddenly became ill as soon as he slipped into a coma. And this was reported as well. I'm not really sure if this was before Les slipped into a coma or not, but Zach Henderson, the grocery store owner that I was talking about earlier, he reported that he saw Helen when he dropped off her groceries, like days before she passed, and she seemed completely fine, completely cognitive, just seemed fine. But unfortunately, Helen passed away on July 16th, 2013. And here is the most epic part of the story. I'm saying that like I feel like that's so insensitive because he passed away, but it's also really like mystical and magical in my opinion. Les passed away the next day, July 17th, 2013. Keep in mind, he was in a coma. He had no idea that his wife had just passed. the day before. So at that time, when they both passed away, they were both 94 years old. 94. You know, I can't really picture that. Like, what am I gonna look like when I'm 94? I hope I'm a cute little grandma. You know, I hope I'm like a cute little kind of like combative grandma, but like I'm loving at the same time. I feel like that's what I'm gonna be. Like, and I feel like Kyle is just gonna be like, let's go golfing. He's just gonna be golfing until he freaking dies. Daniel did report their son. His mom often said she didn't want to see Les die and that Les didn't want to live without her. So if you think about it, Helen most likely, like, she succumbed to a broken heart. I've heard many times in my life that you can die from a broken heart, and I honestly believe it because I have told Kyle probably a handful of times, just on like deep conversations that we've had over the years, I better go first because I literally can't live without him, and I can't do that. Like, I can totally picture me being like that. If I knew that something was going to happen to my husband in a few days and he wasn't going to be here, I might pass away too. Like, that is very heartbreaking. So can you imagine? She was like, no, I've been with you my whole entire life. What am I gonna do without you? Heartbreak. And then Les, you know, he did state that he didn't want to live without her. People do slip into a coma, but I have heard that they can still hear things going on around them. So you never know. Maybe he did consciously know, but he just wasn't, but maybe he just couldn't like say anything or move or open his eyes. And he decided, you know what, it's my time too, we're gonna go together. So their son Daniel did also admit that their marriage was a testament to the power of love, and it had no barriers or bounds. They were from different sides of the tracks and it never seemed to matter to them. That's so cute. Think about it. Back in the 1920s, their parents were like, 1930s maybe, their parents were like, what are you guys doing? You guys are not gonna mesh together. No. But they were like, yeah, we are. We love each other. And they just went and did it anyways. They eloped together and they went and got married anyways. Even though people were doubting them, you know, they stuck through everything. So like I said earlier, their story did go viral after they passed in 2013, so it got a lot of attention. Daniel did admit though that they would not have the same opinion about all of this attention. So Helen she didn't really like notoriety. She didn't want all of the attention, or she wouldn't have want all the attention. But on the contrary, he thinks that Les would have really enjoyed their warm-hearted story being shared. So it's just interesting to kind of think about their totally different personalities, but they just worked out well for each other and they were in love their whole entire lives. So in the end, they were together for 78 years and were very much in love like I said, their entire lives. Also, to close this out, their family had a joint public service to celebrate their lives. So they had a funeral together. They were survived by their 2 sons and grandchildren, which was reported in 2013. So at this point, I think there very well could be great-grandchildren. And I think that's so cool. I'm gonna leave this off with 5 reasons why this is an epic love story. The first reason is they were both born on the same day, and it wasn't just like any old day out of the calendar year. It was New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. They were both born on New Year's Eve, the exact same day. I think the second part is they eloped together. They just left and they said, bye, if you don't believe in us, we don't care. We're gonna do it anyways because we love each other. And I think that's fucking awesome. I think that everybody should do that. If you really love somebody, go for it. Take the risk. Take the risk. And the third epic part of this story is they were married for 75 years. 75 years. Whoa, where'd it go? Oh, it's right there. I dropped my crystal. No, but they were married for 75 years. 75 years. The fourth epic part of their story, I think, is that they pretty much died within like 24 hours of each other. Like this, it's probably almost the same day. Like, come on. Almost the same day. That reminds me of The Notebook so much, you know, at the end where they're holding hands and she remembers, Allie remembers that it's him, and then they pass away together. I think that's amazing. It reminds me of The Notebook. This is like the modern day Notebook. And then last but not least, I think the most epic part too is that they had a joint public service to celebrate their lives. How often do couples get to do that? Because it's not like they passed away like in a tragic car accident or something like that when they were really young. You know, they lived full lives, they had a full family, they had successful careers, and they just loved each other their entire marriage, and they ended up passing away pretty much on the same day. And they were able to have a joint service because of that. I think that's so cool, and I think it's so cute, and it's so heartwarming to know that, you know, love can be a test of time, right? Or maybe it's time doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter when it comes to love, right? I just blew my own mind. Time doesn't matter when it comes to love. And I, like, for me, I kind of just think of them now, like they passed away, so they're probably in heaven together, and they're probably just like, they knew that their love was eternal, you know? I don't know. I just thought that I just thought that story was so freaking cute. This was new for me. I am not gonna lie, I kind of struggled with this a little bit. I'm not used to this kind of setup for a video, but I still had fun doing it, and I pushed through. I did get frustrated at myself a couple times. I'm just having a hard time talking today, and now I'm just rambling. I always ramble at the end of videos. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. Please let me know if you did. Please let me know if your heart was warmed and you just felt like, oh, like fuzzies inside, because I just think that that is the most epic love story I've ever read in my life. Do you want to see more of these videos? Did you like it? If so, please leave a comment down below, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you do, or a thumbs down if you didn't like it. I really don't care. Either way, you're letting me know what you do and don't like, and it just helps me out. So if you want to help a girl out, like or dislike this video, does not matter, I don't care. Please do something, like, comment, subscribe, all the jazz, all that jazz, all the jazz. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. I am battling my mind right now. I'm uncomfortable. That's what's happening. I'm very uncomfortable. I'm struggling today, but I'm gonna freaking power through it, okay? I'm gonna power through. What am I even talking about anymore? Oh my god, it's so hot in here. I need a fan.